here we have a strange cross on one of the mountains. It looks like a ziggurat, or again, a medieval castle. Next to these piping, some of them are super blurry. Another wheel, 2 wheels, it looks like. Trying to find those right there. I think that's where that is, and that's over there. They're pretty difficult to see on that photo. But here we have 2 square entrances again. Scrolling through a lot of empty pictures, or empty pages. What's interesting is that there's page numbers but no pictures. Some of them don't have page numbers, and some of them do have page numbers. So we just went from like 50 something to 70. That's it. So we just lost like 20 pictures in the book, or 20 pages of pictures, which is not cool, especially because this is so wild. The bridges, though, here you can clearly see like the bridges. I think it's the top left here that shows it close up. Even looks like a pool right here. Looks like mining complex is what it looks like to me. Mining complexes have these pools typically as well. So we're getting to some of the better pictures here. This is the bottom left over here. That's absolutely some sort of outpost. I mean, it's so many different 90-degree angles. And then the one on the far right looks like a vehicle to me, but I don't think that that's possible. I think it just happens to look like that pareidolia type of stuff. A lot more piping and stuff. Again, piping and structures, bridges, terracing. You see a pattern of like whoever's building this is building it on similar types of locations. Yeah, you can, on the middle left one here it looks the best to me of all the ones on this page. Then we have a very side-angled picture here that you can see the height of whatever this thing is, like sticking out, and this protrusion on towards the edge of the horizon. Again, you can see the shadow behind it to show how big it is. This looks like a camp. That looks like a big version of a concentration camp to me. The one on the right is very strange because it's just like hovering there. Almost looks like a craft hovering. You can see the shadow underneath it. I don't know what it's attached to. It might not be attached to anything. Could just be hovering. But yeah, what is that attached to? Maybe it's just an optical illusion or something. But it's pretty weird. The bottom left there, again, this is showing clearly a structure coming out. And they say that allegedly these craters have these things sticking out the middle from meteor impacts that like becomes liquid and then instantly refreezes coming out of it. Some of it could be the case for that. And some of these like don't look like that at all. This one, I guess, could be explained by that, but on the far left, you have, again, what looks like some sort of facilities. Bottom left, again, the shadows from the piping. Those are always really nice to see. And the 90-degree angles. This looks like a giant complex. You can see the struts and the structural foundations of the edge of this giant platform holding it up. And like he was saying, I don't know what geographic sort of explanation there would be for some of this stuff. Some of these are just getting bigger and bigger. Here we have like a giant. This again looks like a mining operation. Almost all of these look like mining operations. I will say that very clearly. That it's like probably 70% industrial and 30% military fortifications is the types of stuff that you see from these. Those that we just went by had a whole lot of stuff in the pictures. And we're just going through so many empty pages again. This set of pictures, also really good. I mean, I don't even know where to start. The one on the far right has another weird circular protrusion coming from the earth. It looks really weird. And then an entrance to the underground and all these buildings next to it. I mean, it looks like an aircraft control tower again. And this is, I think, the same photo from a different angle. So here we have what I was talking about. This is like an actual picture of these supermassive dump trucks, and I'll give you a perspective in a second, next to these terraced mining techniques. And you see that they just go layer by layer, and you have like these driveways that you drive up, and you take stuff from the bottom and you drive it up the hill or whatever. And just get this picture in your head here, and then go back and look at some of the stuff that we've looked at, and as we continue to look at. And also look at this thing. Like, again, it looks like the moon. These even look like the moon. And you can imagine like a line of these things coming up, these dump trucks with these massive super tires on it. And you notice that they don't have the same tread as, let's say, like a tank track, which is notable because some of the pictures had different treading of tracks. So just imagine something like this on the moon. And I think this is AI, but and here again you see the terrorist and like the conveyor belt that's taking stuff here around where I'm circling with the cursor. You see the conveyor belt is making a giant dome, basically, with the crater in the middle of it by dropping this stuff down, whatever the aggregate that it's dropping. And it's even making a little tower. So just seeing that, I wonder if some of these domes that we were seeing were made from like mining material. And you see the tracks and whatnot. And then again, here, bam, you see this water circle that a lot of times they have at mining facilities, or liquid, some sort of liquid type of thing. And in one of the photos that we saw earlier, it had one of the circles in it that I had pointed out, which is very strange. So it's like we're seeing the same type of stuff over and over and over. So here we have like, again, like a weird bridge. It's hard to tell if this is a bridge or a craft. And then again, oil field looking stuff, snaky hallways and construction type of stuff. Some of these, and they're built into the mountain as well, which could be interpreted as like a defensive type of structure. Here on the left, this looks like a pretty good sized facility that's built into the side of a mountain. And again, it has an opening to come out of that looks like it's been used a little bit. I can't really tell what this is. This is just some weird object. But the two on the right look like, again, castles on the hill. Looks like defensive structures on the hill. And again, you see a cross. There's a cross right there. This is the second or third structure on the moon that we've seen a cross. And I don't know what that means. That could just be a coincidence. We probably should not interpret that as them being Christians. I would just, whoever's there, they could be, hopefully, but I'm not gonna say with authority that means what we all think that it means. That could have a totally different meaning or be something totally different that we don't even know about. It could just happen to look the same, but it is really interesting. And here we go again with these crafts, and you can see by the shadow that it's defining that. The one on the right looks like a submarine or like a boat or something next to a dock. And next to all these walkways. And I'm biting my tongue. I guess I can say it on this one right here. It's good enough of any. That some of these look like the fortifications that the Nazis built on the Atlantic Wall. Same type of shape, same type of structure. It could even be the same material. So yeah, that's just something that I've noticed is some of them have similar shapes to the Atlantic Wall type of stuff. This one on the right, though, has these weird circles. Like, even in the original picture, you see really clearly, bam, that's a circle right there. This weird wagon wheel stuff again. Who knows if it's actually a wheel, right? But then there's this craft or equipment here that looks like it's used for like loading or fueling up or something, and all these different little places around it, I guess, that they drive to. So yeah, very strange. One on the far left kind of looks like a tunnel or outrigging for some sort of entrance into the underground area there. Again, square on the far left. You see this perfect square outrigging? That's like a medieval structure again, and it's right next to a tunnel. So obvious on these pictures. I mean, these just look like, that looks like a whole bunch of either buildings built there or a lot of equipment just sitting out, openly sitting out. I kind of wonder if that is what some of this stuff is just old equipment. Yeah, some of this stuff looks pretty wild. The one on the far right looks pretty wild. And this is some of the later photos from Apollo. So that's why these are like way more clear than the other ones. I mean, look at this. This looks like a city. This literally looks like a city if they were to take like New York or something like that and put it on the moon. Some of them, they look like lunar outposts out on the middle of nowhere. It's just like some pipes coming out and stuff. But this literally looks like Manhattan, which is weird. More piping going in. That looks like a very large diameter pipe, and you see how it has a circle ending. You can see the shadow underneath it. You can even see structures supporting it right there, right where it's starting to bend. There's structures supporting it, and on the bottom, all these different structures around it again. That could be for exhaust or for letting out craft, or for moving around stuff, from getting from place to place. It's weird how spiky this one is on the right. Looks very, very spiky. And then the shadows and stuff of these two in the middle are very peculiar. Very strange stuff. So here we are, rounding it out, starting to get to the last ones. I mean, they're just so strange. The shadows are what give them away. And the 90-degree angles of these tubes just going straight into the ground. That's what natural gas pipelines look like in Texas, as well as oil and stuff like that. And here we are at the bottom. And if you guys remember the Luna 10 DARPA study with Northrop Grumman, that they were saying they were going to build a wireless free power technology on the moon that could also do communications, just like Tesla had done. And while I was looking up this episode, I found out that Raytheon is building stuff for the Earth for wireless power and communications transmission, and that they were working on that since 2023. So it's really interesting that we have Tesla come into this area with the whole wireless communications and wireless power aspect, and that he got killed so long ago, and it seems like they're sequestering this technology away from the public and only into extremely limited capacities for defense contractors and corporations. But it seems like it's coming out into the public. And we saw some of that with this presentation. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this. I've thought about putting this out for a long time. This is, again, just like another building episode for us to come back and circle back to it again and reference it. We had to talk about a lot of things to get here, though. So we're making progress. And I had fun talking about this, especially hearing from Dr. Brandon Berg. That was a wild, wild statement. I'm still processing it. I hope that all of you guys go back and listen to that and spend some time thinking about what in the world that man meant with what he said and what are the implications of it. And I'll also mention the fact that he admits himself he was ordered by the military, by the government, the Department of Defense, and security agencies to carry a narrative. And I think that we saw that narrative in that TV show, what he was supposed to say. And I think what we heard at the beginning on the audio was a little bit closer of what the reality of what he had to say was. That he wasn't happy that he got all of his stuff taken. In the TV show, he doesn't mention that at all. He seemed like he was following orders. Like, look at his face, how serious he is in the TV show. He's not joking around. Seems like he's following orders. And in the audio, you hear him joking around, and he's like more down to earth, and it seems like more genuine. So to me, that's pretty obvious. He was instructed to have a narrative on this side of this type of stuff. And again, reflect back to what I was saying with the media, that all these people came and had all of them in a row all agree that these structures on the moon mean that we're going to war, basically, is what they all said, like 20 years ago. And I don't think that's true. I don't think that it has to be that way. I think that that's what we're being taught, and that for generations we've been taught that. You know, it may be 2 generations before we go to war with something out there in space. Who knows? I have no idea. I'm just saying it seems like we're being primed by the same people that are destroying the planet and making money off of it. They're priming our generations for decades, if not hundreds of years, to be prepared for some sort of interplanetary conflict when we've already destroyed our own planet. Like, we don't need aliens to come in and destroy the planet. We are doing a fine enough job as it is. So yeah, I don't know how they think we're going to fight some space war out there unless we all go to the moon. And I'll just end it with, you know, this makes me think of the movie Predator. Or no, not Predator, Alien. The first Alien movie, when they go to the ancient ruins and they find the aliens in there and they get like infected in it, like it comes out of their chest and stuff. And it was like all ancient sculptures and carvings and stuff that they were in. That's kind of what it makes me think of. It also makes me think of Iron Sky, which it was extremely cheesy and a comedy movie. It's barely even finishable. It's kind of bad, but it does make me think of that. So with that, I'll end it, and I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Be safe out there. So I also have to just mention that, this TV show showed this weird alien mummy thing they found on the moon allegedly, and I think that that is extremely dubious. Uh, some of the stuff that was presented in this TV show, I don't know about. I don't think it was real, and other parts, I do think it was real, and that's why I had highlighted the parts that I did think it was real, and this book, and these photos that came from this book, and then the experts talking about that they found this book. I mean, Dr. Brandenberger said he found the ULO book. So those words are really, really important. But I did want to mention this weird alien mummy thing before we left, so that if anybody watched the documentary, they're not like, what the heck, why didn't anybody say anything about this? Well, the reason that I'm bringing it up is because it's in the movie, or it's in the documentary. But I don't think it's real. There's nothing about this video that concludes that I think that this is real. So, yeah, just wanted to put that out there. If there is alien mummies, please give them to science so that they can have reputable people look at them. I'm not sure the process that you could do that safely, but surely there's got to be a way. But yeah, I'm just not big on this whole alien mummy thing, but to each their own. It's possible. I don't know. I don't have any proof to say that it's not real either, other than that it looks like it's made out of Play-Doh or something. But other than that, yeah, I just had to mention that.
There's something